because I think it deserves, like, this definitely deserves like some degree of significant, like, talking about at least, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And all the while, concurrent to the new parliament inauguration, the protests for the removal of oh God, Brij Bhushan Singh,
Brij Bhushan Singh.
Brij Bhushan Singh as the president of uh, what?
Wrestling Federation.
Yeah,
I think
WFI.
Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, WFI, Wrestling Federation of India, I think.
Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh.
Yeah, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. Uh,
Yeah, he is current president of WFI.
yeah, removal of Brij Bhushan Charan Singh as Sharan Singh
Sharan.
as the president of WFI,
Mhm.
ongoing since again months. I have been
Yes,
following this.
actually, this has been since I think around late last year. Actually,
Yeah, and a lot of our major not political, sports figures, people who have won medals for us during the Olympics as well,
Mhm.
and are had been in protest in, I think, Pragati Maidan. Um, no, wait, not that. Pragati Maidan is with
Was it Pragati Maidan or Jantar Mantar or what?
Jantar Mantar, not Pragati Maidan. Pragati Maidan is for private, like, these things.
Mhm.
But yeah, and I think a lot of us would have seen the images as well. Uh,
Of
uh,
this thing being
the
brutalized.
protesters getting, yeah, protests. Oh, wait, I don't. Did they remove them from the internet?
I don't know. Wait one second. There's protest. Release. Release. Got it. One second. I'll send this to you.
Yeah, so we have Ayush Kumar filling in. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh should be arrested because it is one of the POXO. POXO is protection of,
Let's get into the allegations against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh.
yes.
The
Uh,
several accusations. There have been several accusations of sexual harassment, including that of including that of an athlete who was at the time a minor, which would, as
Ayush
Ayush
Kumar, yeah.
as Ayush said, would be like
A violation
would
of,
bring it under the would bring it under the purview of POXO.
yep.
We There have been like, uh, there have been accusations of that the man allegedly propositioned athletes for sex and harassed like those who refused. Uh, I think there is at least one accusation of rape in there, but I am not sure.
Yep. And there has been like demands for example, like private massages, and like this whole multi-year like thing, which has been going on for quite some time. And the man refuses to even resign. He's like completely fine. He was, I think, invited to the new parliament inauguration as well. Uh,
Yeah, there are seven complainants in the case, including a minor's identity, obviously given.
yeah.
The FIRs in the case mention allegations against Brij Bhushan and WFI Secretary Vinod Tomar. The allegations include demanding sexual favors for professional assistants in at least two cases, at least 15 incidents of sexual harassment, including groping. Uh, if if you are sensitive to talk about case of sexual harassment, sexual assault, potentially rape, uh, this is like a warning, which is very late, but that we are going to talk about this. So yeah, Anyway, which at least discussion 15 incidents of sexual harassment, which include groping, inappropriate touching by running hands over breasts, navels, buttocks, and several instances of intimidation, including stalking. The complainant wrestlers stated that the acts of the accused have traumatized them. The FIRs mentioned that women wrestlers went out only in groups to have food to avoid meeting the accused alone. One of the complainants stated the accused threatened her with repercussions in the upcoming tournament trials as she resisted his attempts to make physical contact with her.
Oh,
She
Jesus
further stated she
Christ.
was hugely discriminated during the mentioned trials. End quote. This is Vinesh Fogart. Like, so
Hmm.
this is a name. This is not a
Yeah, a big
like.
name.
This is like somebody who is famous in her own
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Claimed that she was mentally harassed, tortured, and threatened to be killed by Bhushan for complaining against him to Modi and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur. She was made to face widespread media scrutiny for the same under the guise of missing out on a medal at Tokyo 21. Hmm. The incidents range from 2012, so this is like, yeah, this is very standard. Uh, One of these women wrestlers alleged Bhushan of sending goons to threaten her family, that would threaten her family to would face quote direct consequences and quote dire consequences and quote. She told the if she told the incidents to the committee formed by WFI. Uh, yeah,
And all in the middle again, this one another thing that you know, all the talks of, oh, how so much systemic crime is there in Muslim communities, and blah 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 blah, and all of this, right? Among all of that, let's look at what the Hindu community's response has been. uh, a rally
okay.
in support of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh was going to happen in Ayodhya. Please, TOI. Please, come on. Uh,
Just shut
let
it
me
off for like
read.
10 minutes.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, fine. For the people.
Um, Contents in the above.
For the revolution. Yeah. Yeah. So they were. This was
Just
a
refresh it now. You
yeah.
it'll refresh. Just go ahead.
That yeah. Okay, but where
Yeah,
is
so this
the?
is rally.
Can I
Just
just?
check Upar. The purpose of holding a Sant Sammelan at Ayodhya on June 5th was to discuss about the evil forces spreading in the entire society.
Evil forces of the society, but in view of the ongoing police probe and directions of the top court, that rally has been postponed. Of course, it took a court's direction. Wow, to stop
Under
that.
fire for alleged sexual harassment, announced Friday that a Jan Chetana Maha rally planned for June 5th was being postponed because police are investigating the allegations.
Oh my
And
God,
there are
are there all
serious directions of the Supreme Court.
no allegations? Are some of the organizers also involved in some
No, I
cases?
think it's mostly
Or
it's
that the
just
case
him,
is
but like
pending. That's why.
I don't think it's a coincidence that and maybe I'm just trying to combine too many things into this, but I don't think it's a coincidence that there seems to be a sort of concerted effort to display Chandrachud as some kind of traitor to like Akhand Bharat.
Yeah, apparently Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh was also involved in the Babri demolition.
We can let's get into history of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. Um, uh,
Oh
38
man.
cases, 38 cases, including theft, rioting, murder, criminal intimidation, attempt to murder, kidnapping. Yeah, this is not
Yeah.
even.
Our huh?
Has confessed to at least one murder.
Yeah,
Like,
he just randomly said in an interview कि मेरे हाथ से सिर्फ एक मर्डर हुआ है, but nobody can tell which one, but he's
no,
like
not
एक तो.
safe, not safe. द कोट इज मेरे जीवन में मेरे हाथ से एक हत्या हुई है लोग कुछ भी कहे मैंने एक हत्या की है
Exactly.
इट इज नॉट सिर्फ सो ही हैज कमिटेड एटलीस्ट वन मर्डर
Okay, at least one in my knowledge, as much as I'm able to remember, एक का तो मर्डर किया है मैंने. But yeah, this I guess like this is a testament to his We talk a lot about strong arming. This is strong.
This is a, I mean, this is not something that is particularly new.
Yeah.
Remember Kuldeep Singh Sengar, the guy who was basically a sort of repeat of the Damini.
Wait, are you talking about Hathras instead?
No, no, no.
Uh,
Uh, that, oh God, I have to explain what Damini is now.
yes.
Have you seen Damini?
No. Is that
Damini
a
is,
movie?
have you? Yes, it's a movie.
Okay.
Damini, you might have you heard the dialogue "ये 2.5 किलो का हाथ
Ha. Okay.
and
Yes.
और
Oh, it's
तारीख पे
from that
तारीख
movie.
from that movie.
Okay.
Damini is basically a like a movie in which a woman goes like marries into like a household, and like her brother-in-law or something is like a rapist, and
Okay.
he rapes like the maid servant or something,
Hmm.
and then she kills herself, and she decides to like be a witness to, and like and she decides to be a witness to the crime, and suddenly people around her keep dropping dead,
Okay. Oh.
like in
Oh.
accidents.
Right. Yeah.
The Kuldeep Singh Sengar case was similar. You a woman had been like raped by, I think he was a BJP MLA or an MP. I'm not sure.
Could
Like
a
he was
more
one of.
relatable example be the Jessica Lal murder case?
Jessica Lal was different. I think
I guess in that people witnesses weren't dying; they were just
they were
retracting
just
their.
coming hostile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here it was like this woman like followed the case.
Hmm.
I think I think some relative of hers died.
Okay.
Uh, then her father got arrested on some flimsy charge, and then he died in custody.
Hmm.
No explanation.
Hmm.
Then I think she and her family were run over by some truck or something.
Oh
They
my God.
survived, but like heavily
Hmm.
injured,
Yeah.
like during, and all of this like during the this thing, right, like during the whole case thing
Hmm.
happening, and like it was just kind of very wild. And
Hmm.
that's the reason why I think of Damini, because it followed that like movie very almost directly,
Hmm.
but I guess like this is very normal sort of local satrap behavior, like thing, very stereotypical, you know, like
Yeah.
you're kind of
Yeah.
stereotypical North Indian type shit.
Yeah.
When you talk about
The
where
the way the term Bahubali is understood in North India.
I guess
Yeah.
I don't know how the term Bahubali is understood in North India, but like the idea is that sort of that like this guy will have goons, and he will basically do whatever he wants, and if somebody doesn't give him what he wants, he will take it by force. You know,
Something very interesting that
gangster
yeah,
behavior,
gangster,
gangster behavior.
which is so appropriate that you brought up gangster behavior right now because I was reading into his Babri mosque allegations. Turns out that he was playing for the opposing team. He had been sheltering terrorists from the Dawood gang. Uh, so it said the probe, it was revealed that Brij Bhushan, then a BJP MP, had allegedly sheltered some terrorists of the same gang, the gang being Dawood's
The
D
company
company. Um, uh, and
at an NTPC guest house in Safdarjung development area.
yes, and they surrendered in '96, and they were
And he
charged
was
with Tada as well.
held under Tada. Yeah.
Man, how is this guy like? Oh God, what does he have? What does he have on BJP? Like even,
My assumption is that he is just a goon. Like this is like Gunda politics, like where he gets some degree of votes, at
oh
least
okay,
to
okay.
some
By the
degree
way,
it is coerced.
so parallel to the D company thing, he was also charged under
Major Kar Sevak in Babri, yeah.
yeah. So like both teams, he was playing on both sides.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is frankly it. I don't know. This just seems like
How is this man still?
religiously neutral Gunda politics.
Yeah, dude, what the
Like
like?
I do what I want. I assume he must have been paid for the like for the D company guys to hold, but
Yeah,
but
but
Babri is a
having
Babri is a
the
thing
yeah,
where with Babri the context understandable. He was a BJP MP at that time also,
yeah.
and like people for a long time today
Apparently, even
brag
Amitabh
about
Bachchan.
being at this thing, right?
Yeah. Do you believe Amitabh Bachchan was involved in this? Babri.
In Babri,
Yeah.
in the sense that he was there, probably not. In the sense that he supports it, I don't know.
Isn't there
Uh,
like a whole thing that he gave a speech to the car
Amitabh,
sevaks? Yeah, just before they went ahead with the demolition.
I haven't seen any.
But you know
I
that,
saw the.
yeah, you know
I mean,
that,
it's
yeah,
I mean, it's possible. It uh, for me, Amitabh when it comes to politics has been more spineless than anything.
yeah,
But
kind of a
like,
failure story.
yeah,
Yeah,
like he was a congressman, right? He worked with the Congress. He worked with that very famous Congress dumbfuck. I forgot his name.
uh,
Uh,
don't look at me. I'll. If
that
you don't know, then I
guy.
don't know either.
Good. So like he had like
Oh, okay. Ayush Kumar is filling in. He said he thinks he heard Amitabh was involved in 84 riots,
oh
not
yeah,
Babri.
no, oh yeah, 84 he was definitely involved in Amitabh. Yeah, that was
Ah,
like a big like thing.
okay. I got them mixed
And
up. Yeah. Thanks, Ayush
but not
Kumar.
not in Babri as far as I know.
Yeah, but no,
As
no,
far as
but
I know, Bollywood wasn't really loud on like when it came to Babri.
this is the
Uh,
thing that even my man Shekhar Gupta, when he was covering this topic, he was like, I am also shocked. How is he being kept around being so optically toxic, like being such like a radioactive waste dump of like
I
optics?
mean, I think he just has like this part of it is just gunda politics, right? He will
Yeah, yeah,
he will
he's
get
like,
goons to like he has like muscle power on the street, and I think that
hmm,
counts for a lot.
yeah,
Another part is he seems to have at least some degree of clout. Another part is, and I presume at least some degree of insider connections because he has been an MLA for MLA MP
MP, MP,
MLA an MP for so long,
yeah,
and because usually when you have somebody who switches parties this much, this guy is by the way a former Samajwadi Party guy,
I know,
so
yeah,
like this is typical. Usually, this kind of thing happens when it comes to when the election equation is closely related to caste, where you have a
hmm,
guy who gets votes not because of like ideology or like work or anything, but because it is like a community thing. And
yeah,
I mean that's fine, but like whatever. But that is the cause that you're not talking about anything else, and that is why the party chases the candidate. The candidate does not chase the party.
yeah. This is again something we talked about. Oh, right now they have turned it into Jat versus Rajput caste war.
Yeah,
Uh,
because this guy is a Rajput, uh,
Rajput. Oh,
Brij Bhushan.
yeah. But yeah, this is something again we talked about in our last episode when we were talking about the regional powerful people being poached, quote unquote, by
Mm. Yeah,
political
because
parties.
because they're not elected based on this thing, right? Like
Yeah.
party affiliation. As much as frankly the BJP would probably want them to.
That's what they missed out in Karnataka, right? That's what the context of our discussion was, that the
Mm.
Congress had like two big names, established, popular names, and the BJP just had the face of Modi and a lamppost candidate.
Mm.
But yeah, I guess that is what like his thing is.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
like
it's
this
just
is concurrent to like a new parliament being building being inaugurated with uh, uh, like Brij Bhushan
with
Singh
Bhushan in attendance.
in
He
attendance.
like he has refused to resign. He has like, and there has not really been pressure on him to resign. Frankly, there hasn't been a lot of pressure to resign for anyone really. Like
Yeah,
how many
even
high-profile
though FIRs
resignations
have
have
been
been?
lodged now, like
Yeah, but like, and I mean, this is a POXO case, so this is like,
yeah, it's really severe. Uh, However, like I think like to look at the silver lining, this is going to get a lot of your average uncles into like sort of like disillusionment about the
Because I
yeah,
guess, I mean, I hope so. It's possible. One part of this is this has already become an international issue.
yeah.
The International Wrestling Federation has said that until this matter is resolved to the satisfaction of all parties, India, as far as I know, will not be represented at uh,
I
International
mean,
Wrestling.
these
I
are
mean,
yeah, like
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
yeah.
yes, it's a boilerplate, but like it is international attention, and it is bad international attention, which Modi will probably be more, which Modi cannot really internationally spin.
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously, when it comes to, I don't know if you've seen the nuisance video about about the Brij Bhushan thing.
I've not yet. I was planning to, but not
Uh,
yeah.
the it is as vile as you think it is.
Hmm.
It's people talking about how like there is this maybe morphed is the wrong word, but like there is this sort of altered photo where the wrestlers are just chilling out with police or
Oh yeah,
something.
yeah. They had
Uh,
like an AI altered image of like the people in the police van like smiling, the protesters, and the original image is of course them not smiling, but they made it appear as if they are just chilling in the police van, and all the photos from the like the protest itself, all the people being dragged away from it, and like trying not to like trying to resist, all of that had been staged because ultimately this they were all just in
yeah,
cahoots with
so
each other.
like yeah, so like the because the news media the news media angle on this is that this is all like a conspiracy by Congress, Congress mostly, and Soros. One part,
Soros.
and then like people, there was also like a big thing when, and I probably should have brought this up earlier, where they talked about how a lot of wrestlers said that if the guy was not removed, they would take their medals and immerse them in
In
the
Ganga.
Ganga,
Yeah, I saw that too.
and then like I mean that's big like this thing, right? And like obviously the
So
news
by
media.
immerse, do they mean drop? Because why would they not just say drop? And
No,
what
no,
is
no,
a
because it's a sort of ritual this thing, right? Because when
it's
because
tainted, the medal is
yeah,
tainted.
because
Yeah.
the idea is that if my country will not stand for me, I will not. The medal doesn't the single value of the medal is gone because it is earned for India, kind of, right?
Okay.
Like it's a sort of ritual thing. Obviously, it's in your head because when it comes to because it's sort of nationalist feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the news media kind of did some random bullshit. They were
Even
talking
Ayush,
about
yeah, Ayush is
how
talking about how this is all given the spin of arrogant wrestlers not wanting to play nationals.
mm,
Which, oh, I guess, yeah, yeah, I remember now. I remember Ayush. I remember what the spin is. The spin is that they do not want to play qualifying rounds for being nominated for Olympics. Like they don't
what
want to. Yeah, yeah.
what
Like yeah, so they don't want to follow like they're these arrogant people who are like, okay, if we won a medal once, then why do we go through the whole selection process again for the next Olympics? We should have direct entry. Uh, that is like again the BJP propaganda. I remember this, and they're like,
shit.
okay, that they have this year they have introduced this new rule that no everybody will need to follow the selection process, and
Yeah,
that's what their actual
so the idea is that this is just a bahana, and the real reason is they want to just go into the Olympics directly or something.
which does not make absolutely any sense because there's way too many people who have not won an Olympic medal ever,
No,
which have filed the complaints against this guy, and like which are in quite early stages of their career. Like imagine the risk that they are taking. Like they are fully tanking their like sports careers for this because they think they'll be able to walk out of it just directly qualifying for Olympics. Like they are willing to disingenuously raise this issue of sexual harassment, something as serious as sexual harassment, and they are fully expecting it to not go anywhere, just that they will, out of appeasement, they will get direct entry into Olympics. How does that work? How is a logical conclusion of this chain of events that the people, the bigwigs, will get a direct entry to Olympics?
The more the then we have had like the standard news article, this thing where we get into payments. Apparently, because India, apparently because the sports, because the Indian government has spent so much money on these athletes,
Hmm.
like they had even like written some, they had made a listed a few figures.
Hmm.
Apparently, there was one major wrestler
Hmm.
who on whom
Hmm.
had the total spending. The spending was about 25.8 crore. No, sorry, 2.58 crore.
Hmm. Okay.
Now this is now if you think about it,
Hmm.
for an Olympic level athlete,
Hmm.
that is a pitiful sum.
Okay.
It's not.
Hmm.
This is not like 1 year car.
Hmm.
This is like lifetime.
Right. Hmm. Yeah.
For an Olympic level athlete,
Hmm.
25.8 million is about 350,000 US dollars.
Hmm.
It is legitimately a pitiful sum.
Right.
And the idea
Considering
is
considering how rare it is for
because you're talking
Indian.
about the internet, if you're talking about like you're competing with the international standard, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
because that's what the Olympics is. And
Yeah.
then and then the idea is that these people desh ka khaya hai and now desh ka they are
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. But I guess like those, because the reason why I focus on those images so much, from Jantar Mantar and all those protests and areas, is because like I know this guy who's like, quote unquote centrist political. He sometimes posts political stuff,
Yeah,
but it's like mostly
it's
common
a very
sense.
visceral image when you look at it.
Yeah. And wait, I had opened. Wait, where is it? Yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna put it. But yeah, so what he said, like he had been like a very, like, oh, both sides, like, balanced kind of a guy, and even he was like, because he really cares about sport. Like, among any other people I know, that guy follows sports even when it's not trending. So he follows all sports, and he was like, my head is hanging in shame today after, like, this has happened after seeing these
Yeah.
images.
I think this is something that, like, look, I think if you care about sports, this is something. I think if you care about sports as more than like jingoistic BS,
Hmm.
like you care about sports people even when they are not getting glory to India, quote unquote, I
Yeah.
think this is something that will hit you because these are people who have dedicated their lives to being among the best in the world and
Yeah.
have represented India at the highest level of international sport.
Yeah.
And they should not have to face this. I mean, nobody should have to face this, but like, I mean, you know what I mean, right?
From a
Like,
normie perspective, especially, these people should not have to face this.
right. Like,
Yeah.
obvious, like when these people have earned the right to at least for their accusations to be taken seriously. At
Yeah.
absolute minimum, Brij Bhushan should have had to resign.
And like we were talking about that, right? So that one print article, they have compiled his, list of achievements very nicely,
Mhm.
and the same thing, so we were talking about.
What, at minimum, one self-confessed murder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That the one time the BJP decided to expel him, he joined SP. That's when it happened. That one win as a SP candidate was when, in 2000, around 2008, the BJP expelled Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, and he joined SP and contested from the pocket borough of Kesarganj and won again. So I mean, it's purely a matter of like gunda politics, on the ground power. And this guy, and like, of course, like, at least, what do you say, like, the public perception, I guess at least it would fragment, right? At least a lot of the people who would not care about politics, they're like, oh, there should not be politics in sport, have to acknowledge that this is not a really a political issue. It is not like child sexual harassment, sexual harassment of women players is not, again, it's not a political opinion, right? It's a fact that it should not happen, it should be punished. And the response to that, what is like the way that the Delhi police has like responded to it, at least fragments their hardcore base even more, right? Because some of them can, of course, because then again we can very
I
safely
don't
say
think
again.
there are a lot of. I don't know if there are a lot of like hardcore women respecters, so to speak. But
No, but
yeah,
there are
like
hardcore
because
sports respecters.
I guess, but like even then, like uh, here's the thing: because we have had like rallies in support of rapists before. You may remember Kathua from like
Hathras, right? The Hathras
not
thing.
Hathras Kathua before that.
Okay, yeah,
Do you remember Kathua? That
it was a
what's her
minor,
face?
right?
Child was kidnapped, gang raped for like a week and then murdered.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I know the.
Asifa, her name was Asifa.
Hmm.
Like this was like a fuck like 10-year-old,
Hmm.
yeah, something
Yeah,
around
I
that
know it
time.
was like a
And then there was
grossly
like a
young
rally
child.
for the rallies in support of the rapists
Yeah.
and things like that. So this is not
let's not
so
even
like
let's not even dig so much, dude. Don't you remember this one hashtag I shared with you, which was thinking the girl was major, which was like,
oh, this is that the Asaram thing, right?
yeah. so
Yeah, the
so yeah. So this is like not even a regional thing.
yeah.
Nationally,
So
people were like,
yeah,
Asram
so
Babu did nothing wrong. The
no,
girl
this
was
is
not a
Asaram.
minor.
The Asaram thing you can at least call as a cult, like
I guess.
because.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
No, but they
so
always
I guess
take
the point
this.
is that this is
The
not new.
the
This kind
reason,
of
it's a narrative.
rapist
Yeah.
support is not new.
It's not, so from the perspective of the supporters, it's not rapist support. What it is that, and especially this was illustrated when I looked deeper
Soros,
into. Huh?
Soros has framed these guys
Correct.
to
It
yeah,
is the narrative that anytime, for example, any religious person gets implicated in anything, people try to prosecute them to the highest extent of the law. So they will inflate the severity of the crime, and that is what the point of the revelation about, like, quote unquote revelation about Asaram's victim not being a minor was that this was a deliberate thing, that they charged him under, like,
also
POXO, that they just wanted him gone, so they just accused him of the worst crime possible. Right, that is the narrative, and that their narrative is that, oh, Indian judiciary is biased against, like, Hindu men.
yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah,
Okay,
so this is
so it's
typical crime. Uh, I guess like here, I think a few people will be like turned against the BJP. I guess I don't. I guess part of it is why I don't know why they are hanging on to him for so long. But like I assume it is like this thing related, like seat or caste or something related. But but like I guess it just feels like this is something uh, that is going to that I don't know how much it is going to like swerve people because of you know because this kind of thing has happened before and it hasn't really changed a lot of minds. It's easy to spin this narrative. Like if you bring in one thing that when it comes one major advantage of peddling a conspiracy theory is that any narrative you push can be like justified when you're talking about a conspiracy theory.
yeah.
Because when you have Soros, so there is the reason why. Brij Bhushan is actually innocent is because Soros is paying off the wrestlers to this thing to
I've not
protest.
seen a lot of Soros posting when it comes to this case.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I guess when with this
it's
particular, but
it
it's
is
just
not a
general conspiracy, is it,
yeah,
right?
it's not a long shot. It's a natural progression of the same line of thinking.
And
It will
it's a
eventually
reason
reach
why
Soros.
it's a reason why conspiratorial thought is so attractive. You
Yeah.
can never be wrong.
Yeah. Every time you're proven wrong, you can be like you try to be like, okay, you, but you don't know. We don't know that. This was against this again another cope thing for the Koala story thing. People were like, okay, the National Bureau only investigated these many cases, but we don't know how many cases they did not investigate.
Did you
But
go to Syria? Did
yeah,
Dhruv go to Syria?
not even that, even remaining in India, it is like, what do you even say to a person where they're like, okay, 5,000 cases were investigated. They're like, okay, what about what if the 5,001st case was the real evidence? So what do you even say to such a person? There is nothing to say. That is to your point, that they are always right, they can always justify themselves, that okay, uh, there is
I
no.
guess
Yeah.
I guess because when you talk about this, actually they only did it because they are arrogant and don't want to qualify like normal wrestlers. And or you can just like go the whole like news media thing and just try to like defame them basically. You
They
say
are
that
going the
they
full victim blaming. Yeah.
they have the government has spent your money on these wrestlers.
Yeah, 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 again, yeah, yeah, yeah. They are wasting the government's money, it's our money. And like they have gone full victim blaming mode as well. They have gone full like the such a typical stereotypical line that I can't even imagine people saying it, because again, watching some videos to get, fair and balanced view on both. People are like, okay, why did these not come ahead earlier?
I swear to
It's like,
God,
this is, oh my,
it just
I
repeats
thought we
like
went through this.
there are tens of the it's just like it it just feels. I hate rad films, but I get them sometimes, and this is times when I get them. This is like
Yeah,
because
sometimes
anytime a
they
high
feel
profile kind of
reasonable.
thing, huh?
Sometimes they feel reasonable.
Yeah, because this just kind of repeats, right?
Yeah.
Anytime there is like this high profile thing, it just kind of it's just like why didn't they come out earlier? Because like the obvious like connection to a high profile case is Weinstein. Like
Huh.
obviously there's no government case there, but like the obvious relation is to something
That's what
like
I said.
Weinstein.
We
And
went.
the same
Yeah.
sort of rationales keep coming around. Why did you wait for so long? Why did you this thing? Where they are just trying to being
The cloud chasers,
manipulative.
they're trying to hop on the trend.
Yeah, and it
Maybe.
just
Yeah.
repeats, right?
Yeah. That maybe one case is true, but how can it happen that he raped 10 women? Like, why not? What do you
Frankly,
mean?
from what I have seen, frankly, the inverse is true.
What? That,
Have you?
there are more unreported cases.
If it is no, if there is sexual harassment is all this kind of sexual harassment, sexual assault, this kind of stuff, almost never individual.
Huh.
If it has
Yeah.
happened once,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
almost always has been a pattern, and that is
Yeah.
why when one person comes out, a lot more people tend to come out
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it is all because it is not because usually almost without exception
Hmm.
this is not targeted. It
Yeah.
is like behavior. It is like a behavior thing. That is why it happens when a person behaves like this. It behaves like this with multiple women.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
almost never happens to one person and only one person. Like when you say it happened to one person, but how can it happen to that many people? The almost inverse is true. If you say one person accused and nobody else accused, I'm less likely to believe, frankly, because this kind of thing is a pattern of behavior. It has happened every single time. Like one person has come out, and credibly, like 10 or 20 people have come out and
Yeah, yeah,
talked
because
about this kind of
people
stuff.
will try to, people always also do this, like, not, at least it has not happened so far in India, but a lot of the time it's like, oh, like, it's always these ugly feminists complaining about these things. Why would they rape an ugly person, right? It's the same cope. It's the same
That was
weird.
that was the thing where Trump said I wouldn't like I think she's not my type or something,
Yeah,
and I think that
yeah. She's
that case
she's
actually they
blonde.
just
I
actually
don't like
recessed
blondes.
recently.
Yeah,
She is
yeah,
not my type,
yeah, yeah.
and like it was like I think the case happened only recently, right? Where in
Very
civil court
recently, and the verdict
his
was also passed, and
accuser.
he was convicted. So
Hmm.
he is now like a convicted sexual assault perpetrator. And but yeah, so to your point, as you were saying, right, that okay, like it is almost never target. This is something that people don't understand, that it is not that okay. In general, I respect women. However, in this particular woman, I cannot respect. My internal urges would not
Woman
allow.
respect her.
Yes. Okay. So that's
Normally, I am a woman respecter. I do a
yes,
lot of izzat of aurat, and
yes,
but like
yes.
yeah, this is
Yes, उनका सम्मान is सर्वोपरि to me. However, this
this thing औरत देवी होती है blah blah blah.
yeah, yeah. However, this one, like, it does not, none of this works like that. And it's like, yeah, we that's what I was about to say, that I thought we went through this with Me Too. When this happened, like, because it was such a big scandal that we almost cycled through all talking points. Uh,
Mm.
that became like a bench.
And the thing is, because it is genuinely like jarring because the talking points have just come up again
Yeah,
with this.
yeah.
It happened with and I don't know whether it happened actually with MJ Akbar. Because I mean, yes, he quit, but like on one hand, he's a kind like it is easy to throw out MJ Akbar.
Mm-hmm.
He's not winning votes, plus
Mm-hmm.
he's Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
But this, but Kuldeep Singer was kept for an obscene amount of time in the party
Mm-hmm.
before he resigned.
Mm-hmm.
Now this, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure there are at least a few more. Uh,
yeah,
let's not even get into Sajid Khan. That's a whole different discussion.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah, I guess the the talking points being recycled is like something that legitimately gets me. You know?
yeah. It is really unfortunate. Yeah, but like again, you take the wins kind of, or like this not a win so much as my like situational thing, because a win ultimately in India right now is awareness, in my opinion. Awareness plays a big part, and like there will always
I
be.
think the situation is kind. I think the point is you kind of have to try to make the situation like untenable, at least for like
Yeah.
people who believe in this kind of stuff. You know, like I don't know, uh, like I mean, I think it's a little. This is going to sound horrible to say,
Mm-hmm.
but fuck, I don't know how to say it in a way that isn't terrible. That doesn't sound terrible,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the fact that the Delhi rape case happened, the 2012 rape case, the Nirbhaya case, quote unquote, means that everybody has means that people have means that Nirbhaya is kind of the perfect victim, so every other victim gets compared to her. You know?
Mm-hmm. Or like the benchmark victim.
Yeah, and so
Mm-hmm.
like in ways where it was where cases weren't similar to her,
Mm-hmm.
they kind of tend to get discredited. You know?
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think this is that effect where when something very severe happens and gets a lot of media attention, people,
Every everybody just kind of compares it to every subsequent rape case kind of gets compared to that,
yeah,
or even not even rape. Like we're talking
in
like
general crime, yeah. For a,
sexual crimes, the sort of general.
not
Uh,
even because this is again an example that immediately comes to my mind is about gun crime in the US. Is that how much like assault weapon mass shootings of public places, schools, that right comes up, and of course mass shooting. I did not believe this statistic, but apparently it's true that it's like the biggest cause of child death in the US. Oh, wow. However, when it
is that
comes to,
is that a legislative?
I guess for a year, or I guess like by many, like because Jon Stewart quoted it in one of his interviews, and but when it comes to adults in general population, most gun crimes or most gun deaths even are committed through handguns, which are easier to
Right.
conceal, easier to own, and
Right.
when most of the
Like the
deaths, yeah,
AR-15 is like it's a high-profile weapon, but it's not really a
is not,
like
yeah,
a
number wise
super
not
common.
that
Yeah.
deadly.
Mm.
Yeah, and a lot of the crime happens domestically. A lot of the crime is perpetrated against domestic partners, children in the house, family
Right.
members, or yourself. Many people use
Yeah.
it.
I think the biggest like
Gun deaths,
result of this most gun deaths are suicides. Like
suicides.
that's like the
Yeah,
standard thing. Yeah.
yeah.
The
So
suicide thing
yeah,
is a whole different thing, but like yeah.
yeah, that gets into the men's suicide territory. But again, what we are talking about is a visibility, and as you mentioned, right, Nirbhaya happened, and then it's like, okay, now we're gonna hyper focus on this particular set of circumstances should not happen again. But again, lot of assault happens domestically, even in India. A lot of assault
I
happens
mean,
like people
I
in.
mean, I mean, we still don't have we still don't have like marital
Stats.
rape is still not a crime in this country,
Correct.
and,
Yeah.
and like and whenever the bill is brought up, it keeps getting shot down, almost frankly, almost bipartisanly.
Yeah, yeah, and in
So
fact now it's right now it's not even like a matter of bipartisanship because BJP has a full majority, and
right.
their whole petition was that this should not be decided. This should be decided by a democratic vote, like democratically elected representatives. This is not a matter for the court to settle. And
No, that's gay marriage, I think.
no, no, that's even this, even
So even
marital
this
rape.
lovely.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, okay, no, because of this, like the Hindu definition of marriage is different. That is what in the case of, like, yeah, okay, that was a gay marriage case in which it was like
That
there
is
is
gay
no
marriage. That
strict
is gay marriage,
definition of
definitely.
men and women in a marriage.